George Mueller kept meticulous prayer journals, and over his lifetime, George Mueller cataloged 50,000 answers to prayer. But here's the thing. Of those 50,000 answers to prayer, only 5,000 came on the day that he asked for them. For 45,000 of them, 90% of them, he had to persist for a while. George Mueller, in his book, Release the Power of Prayer, Mueller tells the story of how he committed to pray for 5 young men, friends of one of his sons. He prayed for them to be saved. He committed to pray daily until they became believers. It was 18 months before the first one came to Christ, which it's a long time. 18 months is over 500 days. Have you ever prayed for the same thing 500 days in a row without seeing an answer? When that first young man got saved, Mueller wrote in his journal that he praised God for the answer, but God, there's 4 more left. So he kept praying. After another 5 years, the second one came to Christ. So Mueller kept praying. Another 6 years, the third one came to Christ. He kept praying. 52 years later, 63 years after he had started praying, and a few years after his death, 63 years after he started praying for these 5 young men by name, the final 2 were brought to faith in Christ. And so George Mueller wrote in this book, he said, don't let yesterday's seemingly unanswered prayers stop you from praying in faith today. If there's one thing Jesus taught over and over and over and over, it is that God rewards persistence in prayer. Some things only come through persistence. It's not enough to pray once about something and then drop it. Poor widow, he says, who has no money to fight in court and instead shows up at the judge's front door day after day after day after day after day to demand justice. Jesus says, that's how you should pray. It means there's some things about which we got to pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and refuse to quit until God responds. Summit, do you realize what is being offered to us? Look at the brokenness around you. Look at it. God has given us prayer to bring his kingdom to earth. He's given you prayer to bring his kingdom into your family. Your prayers can heal the sick. Your prayers can alter the weather, literally. Your prayers can bring the wind of his spirit to the dry bones all around you. Your prayers can change the destinies of your children. Your prayers can restore, redeem, and renew. Effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. Those prayers for your kids, those prayers for your campus, those prayers for your husband, for your wife, for your mom, for your dad, for your friends. God hears them. Don't ever, ever, ever give up.